So Doom is one of my favorite games ever, and one of its most important factors is of course its weapons. Now there aren't too many, only 9, yet all of them are very in-depth and have situations in which they are useful and situations in which they are not. This is why I decided to rank them on a tier list to see which have the most uses and which are pretty much useless everywhere. Now, of course, this is my own personal opinion, judging by my experiences with this game. Everyone else has different experiences depending on, for example, what mods they play and how skilled they are at the game. So, if you feel like something is off or want to share your own experience, feel free to tell me. Okay, so first let's start with the weapon bound to the number 1 key of the keyboard, the fist. Now initially, this weapon at the very start is just a basic melee weapon which does a tiny bit of damage and leaves you exposed to melee attacks like imp scratches, hell knight scratches, as well as cacodemon bites, and other bad things like pinky bites, meaning that at first it may seem pretty bad, and I would have probably put it in F, but the fact that the berserk power-up exists changed the whole perspective on this weapon. It increases its strength in quite a dramatic manner, whereas before it would take over 5 hits to kill a single imp and over a dozen hits to kill a pinky. Now it takes 1 hit to kill that same imp and 2 hits to kill the pinky. It does as much, if not more damage, than if all the pellets of a regular shotgun were to hit an enemy without using a single bit of ammo. It is extremely useful in situations where ammo is scarce, so I, as someone who does pistol start playthroughs, really appreciate that. But the big problem is that berserk packs are quite rare and last only 1 level from what I know, meaning that makes them, the fist, a lot less useful. I would have ranked the berserk fist at B, not quite an A though, since you still have to get into melee, which is inconvenient, so let's put it at the middle of F and B, so about a C. Now, the next weapon is the chainsaw. Now, the chainsaw, unlike the berserk power-up, you get to keep forever. You still need to get into melee range, which does make it less useful, but it does do significantly more damage than the basic non-berserk fist, which means in situations where you do not have a berserk pack to pick up, the chainsaw will be your best bet at ammo conservation. But the problem is, if you do have a berserk power to pick up, the chainsaw will be nothing but a distraction to which you will first have to switch to, after which you will switch to the fist. Meaning that when things get hot, you need to quickly switch to the powerful berserk fist to, say, clean up a couple of pinkies which are blocking your way. You will have to lose precious fractions of a second to first switch to the chainsaw and then the berserk fist, and these fractions of a second are long enough for you to lose a good half of your health. Just because of this one thing, I will put the chainsaw at a C. Next is the pistol. Well, what can I say? It's extremely weak, shoots slowly, and gets replaced in the first 20 seconds of the game, never to be used again, unless you run out of shotgun ammo before the time you get a chain gun, but it's literally the same thing as a pistol, except better, because it also fires faster. Its only advantage over the fist is that it's ranged, but I mean, might as well use the fist anyway, it's only about 20 seconds after all. I will put it in D. One of the 2 weapons bound to the free key is the shotgun, and now we are getting to the actual good stuff. So the shotgun is a great weapon, dealing a good amount of damage with a relatively fast reload time and not consuming ammo at a particularly fast rate. This is the weapon you will be using as your sort of standard weapon all throughout Doom 1, shooting most things with it. And in Doom 2, it does get replaced with a super shotgun, which does more damage, but it does, after all, use twice as much ammo. So even in Doom 2, from time to time, you will likely still find yourself using the regular shotgun against enemies with small amounts of health, like zombies, shotgunners, and imps, and maybe even chain gunners if you're confident all pellets will hit. So I'll say the shotgun is about an A, just because it is a good weapon, yet not overpowered. So the second weapon on the free key is the super shotgun. Not much to say here, I'm sure everyone already knows where this will be placed. It is the Doom 2 equivalent of a shotgun, which uses twice as much ammo and reloads a bit longer, but it is pretty much overpowered, killing the top tier enemies from Doom 1, like cacodemons, with extreme ease, bringing them down to a mid-tier level, and can even deal with cyber demons when given enough ammo. Besides doing an insane amount of damage, it is also extremely satisfying to use with that sweet hollow drum sound when you fire it. There can be no doubts that this is an S tier weapon. Next is the Chaingun. As I have stated before, it is basically just a pistol, but better. The fact that it is better doesn't mean that it's amazing though, since every shot still does the same amount of damage as a pistol shot, meaning that to kill anything you will need to use a large amount of ammo. You may kill things faster, but the ammo consumption will stay the same. You may come into a room with full ammo and leave with only a fourth left. It is inferior to both a shotgun and super shotgun, both in damage and ammo usage, but it does have some good sides. For example, sniping. The shotgun isn't the best choice for sniping since the bullets have a large spread and shotgun shooting across the map, they likely won't kill the enemy. But the chaingun has less spread of bullets and fires faster, meaning that it will be more effective for sniping across the map, although it might take a few seconds of continuous firing. Overall, it's a pretty decent weapon in most senses, except for the heavy ammo usage. I'll give it a B. To the 5 key is bound the rocket launcher. As suggested by the name, it launches rockets. As someone could probably expect, rockets do quite a bit of damage, and a lot is about as much as all or most of the pellets from the super shotgun hitting the enemy. Those two weapons actually are pretty much the same thing, except for super shotgun is effective at short range and not effective at long range due to the spread of the bullets, while the rocket launcher is effective at long range but not effective at short range because of something known as exploding yourself. The two weapons kill most enemies from the same amount of shots, with low tier enemies in 1 hit, mid tier in 2 hits, and high tier in 4 to 6. Now, the two downsides of a rocket launcher is the face of a super shotgun are the fact that you can easily explode yourself if you are not careful, or an enemy gets in your way out of nowhere, and how rare the ammo for it is. Overall, it's a pretty good and balanced weapon, which I think deserves the A rank. Next is the plasma rifle. This weapon does a lot of damage due to its fast firing rate and high damage per projectile, meaning that if there is an enemy that you must dispose of quickly, like an arachnotron, since it will just continuously fire plasma at you, which does a lot of damage, and especially a pain elemental, and you can't stand far enough to use rockets, then this is your best choice for that. The fast rate of fire also enables you to clear out whole crowds of low or mid-tier monsters with this weapon with relative ease, like say a crowd of revenants or cacodemons. Sadly, because of a fast rate of fire, this eats ammo quite quickly, and there aren't that many energy cells lying around, meaning you won't be able to use this too much, but in situations that you do need to use it, it's always there for you. So I will put it at an A. And now finally, the BFG 9000, the super weapon of Doom, so to say, uses a lot of uses a lot of ammo, fires slowly, but does incredible amounts of damage. This weapon is used very situationally, but in those situations, it is absolutely life-saving. Like, for example, you are cornered by a bunch of pinkies, and there's no way you could get out in time using the other weapons, which don't do as much damage. So you take out that BFG, fire one shot, and you're out, because of the 40 smaller shots that also fire off from it, which kill all the pinkies, basically. Well, and yeah, that opens up the way for you to run from where you can just use regular weapons to finish them off. Or say there is an Archvile in a crowd of enemies. While you spend time killing the Archvile with regular weapons, the crowd will have time to kill you, and if you focus on the crowd, the Archvile will just resurrect them. So what do? You run in and BFG the Archvile, of course, or even better, if you are facing with a crowd of Archviles, there is no way you can deal with them all in time with regular weapons, so you quickly BFG them. This is also the best weapon for boss fights, since it is capable of killing spider demons with just a single shot if all the smaller shots also hit it, and cyber demons from 2 shots if both of them have all the small shots hit and get good damage values. Overall, the BFG is an extremely useful weapon in situations where you are a step away from death, saving your life time and time again, and just being a strong weapon overall. I think it definitely deserves the S. Anyway, this is my personal tier list for the weapons of Doom. As you can see, every weapon in this game, except for maybe the pistol, which you don't use for more than 20 seconds, is useful in some way or another, and all of them have some new abilities to provide Doomguy with. If you think I missed some aspects of a weapon's functionality, or don't agree with one of my choices, feel free to correct me. Or if you have any ideas of how I could have made this video better, since I am, after all, just beginning to make videos, then please also tell me about it. I do like criticism, since it's a way for me to improve myself. But anyway, thank you for staying up until now.